सजीवम् शाद्वैतं सावधूतं
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Murali Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 27, sloka number 19 to 21. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, over to you Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Do you want me to share the sloka?
You can share the slokas, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji, I'll share it.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity for understanding Srila Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam Bhaktivedanta purports and share it with all of you. So I will start it, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranjaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mutiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 27, text number 19, 20 and 21. Subject matter on attack by Chandavega on the city of King Puranjana, the character of a Kalakanya. So, it is better to understand what has happened so far, so that for the current verses, it will be easy for those who not properly continued. What is happening? Narada was addressing to Prachina Parishad, and he is talking about King Puranjana. It's mentioned here, Puranjana begot 1,100 sons in the womb of his wife Puranjani, and he also got 110 daughters. He was the king of Panchala Desh, and he married his sons to a qualified wives and married his daughters to qualified husbands, so that entire Panchala was populated with their own progeny. So, but the sons and grandsons were virtually plunderers of King Puranjana's riches. And Puranjana's attachment to these were also deep-rooted. That is the time Narada Muni, in the conversation Parichinabari, is mentioning about Puranjana. And the same time when Puranjana was ruling here, in Gandharvaloka, there is a king by name Chandavega. Under him, there are 360 powerful Gandharva soldiers and Gandharvis. All they are there. They are all very much, they are the repeatedly plunderers of the paraphernalia for the sense enjoyment. So, when this Gandharva Raja Chandavega was trying to attack the city of Puranjana, a snake with a 5 hood, it was defending the city. It was a friend to Puranjana. And Puranjana, even though he is a nice king, but he collected taxes from the city for Panchala. He was able to enjoy his sexual indulgence, being completely under the control of woman. He could not understand that his life is passing away without unnoticed. He is going towards death. That's what he is not understanding. So today's verse 4:27-19 talking about a Kalakanya. Kalesha dugita kachi trilokam varam ichati parasyantina barishman pratyanandata kanchana. Kalasya of formidable time, Duhita, the daughter, Kachit, someone, Trilokim, within three worlds, Varam, husband, Ichati, desiring, Parastanti, traveling all over the universe, now never, Parishman, O king, Parshanabaris, Vatyalananda, Datta, accepting her proposal, Kashana, anyone. Translation purport by Divine Grace. My dear King Parshanabarsit, at the time the daughter of formidable time was seeking her husband throughout the three worlds, although no one agreed to accept her, she came. Purport. In due course of time, when the body becomes old and practically invalid, it is subject to jara, the suffering of old age. There are four basic kinds of suffering: birth, old age, disease, and death. No scientist or a philosopher has ever been able to make a solution to these four miserable conditions. The invalidity of old age, known as jara, is figuratively explained here as a daughter of time. No one likes her, but she is very much anxious to accept anyone as her husband. No one likes to become old and invalid, but this is inevitable to everyone. So, when come to next verse, which is number 20, Durbhagyanyatmano loke Vishruta durbhaketi cha yatusta rajashayetu rudadat purvevaram. The daughter of time, Jara, was very unfortunate. Consequently, she was known as Durbhaga, ill-fated. However, she was once pleased with a king, with a great king, and because the king accepted her, she granted him a great benediction. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Sabasukha Bhagala, all kind of happiness disappear in old age. Consequently, no one likes old age or Jara. Thus, Jara, as a daughter of time, is known as a most unfortunate daughter. She was, however, at one time accepted by a great king Yayati. Yayati was cursed by his father-in-law, Sukracharya, to accept her. When Sukracharya's daughter was married to King Yayati, one of her friends named Sarishmita went with her. Later, King Yayati became very much attached to Sarishmita, and Sukracharya's daughter complained to her father. Consequently, Sukracharya cursed King Yayati to become prematurely old. King Yayati had 5 youthful sons, and he begged all his sons to exchange their youth for his old age. No one agreed except the youngest son, whose name was Puru. Upon accepting Yayati's old age, Puru was given the kingdom. It is said that 2 of the Yayati's other sons, being disobedient to their father, were given kingdom outside of India, most probably Turkey or Greece. The purport is that one can accumulate wealth and all kind of material opulence, but during old age, one cannot enjoy them. Although Puru attained his father's kingdom, and he could not enjoy all opulence, for he had sacrificed his youth. One should not wait for old age in order to become Krishna conscious. Due to the invalidity of the old age, one cannot make progress in Krishna consciousness, however opulent he may be materially. So, this is the 2 verses. The last one, verse number 21. Kadachit atmanosa atmanasa brahmalokan mahim gatam vavre brihat vratam manutu mamtu janati kama mohita. Kadachit, once upon a time, Athamana, traveling, saw she Brahmaloka from Brahmaloka, the highest planet, Mahim, on the earth, Gatham, having come, Vaure, she proposed, Bharatvatam, a vowed brahmachari, mom, unto me, too then, Janati, knowing, Kama Mohita, being illusioned by lust. This is a statement by Narada Muni. When I once come to this earth from Brahmaloka, the highest planetary system, the daughter of time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be an avowed brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. Purport. The great sage Narada Muni was Naishtika brahmachari. That is, he never had sex life. He was consequently an evergreen youth. Old age Jara could not attack him. The invalidity of old age can overcome an ordinary man. But Narada Muni was different. Taking Narada Muni to be an ordinary man, the daughter of time, Jara, confronted him with her lusty desires. It requires great strength to resist a woman's attraction. It is difficult for old men, and what to speak of young. Those who live in brahmacharis must follow in footsteps of the great sage Narada Muni, who never accepted the proposal of Jara. Those who are too much sexually addicted become victims of Jara, and very soon their lifespan is shortened. Without utilizing the human form of life for Krishna consciousness, the victim of Jara die very soon in this world. So, these are the three verses and the purport for that. Om Ajnanantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sabidam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Satvita Padantikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yutapatakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Jagradadam Jagana Raghunadhanvitam Tamta Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vidamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Ganjana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Rishabhanutyude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhupyeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devigi Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Sri Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pachyatya Desatarine Namo Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Badayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratuje Namaha Nama Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanayaya Cha Taitya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. That's it. Once again, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to explain these particular verses in the fourth canto. The Chandavega is trying to raid the city of Puranjana, and he is trying to and the influence of the Kalakanya, how it is happening. So it is discussed so much about disappearance of the happiness at the old age. Prabhupada in his purport and the translation very clearly states the Jara, how it is affecting each and everyone. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, they say. Jara is old age. Old age, nobody an exception. If anybody today think that he is great and he is very, very youthful, and they are tomorrow, so they will become old age. It is no exception. There is absolutely no exception. Not even a single man can be proud of, I am always young. Impossible. Impossible. So that so far they were discussing about the disappearance of the happiness in the old age and the effect of Kala Kanya, how this Kala Kanya will affect each and every one of us, right? We should understand Lord Supreme Lord is Kala himself. What Lord says about Kala, he explained in Bhagavad Gita. Lord says, Kalosmin loke shayakrit pravaddo lokan samhatum iha pravata attepi tvamna bhavishyanti sarve ya vatista prati anike yoda. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the world. I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, Pandavas, and all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So it is in the middle of the battlefield. His Supreme Lord is informing Arjuna, see, I had come here to destroy each and every one of you. I am the Kala, except the Pandavas. I am the Kala. I had already decided what to do. Here in this verse, although Arjuna knows that Krishna was his friend and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was puzzled by various forms exhibited by Krishna. Okay. Therefore, he asked further, what is the actual mission of this devastating force, which was a very fierce force, what he is showing. The Vishwarupa, he was showing he's totally afraid, Arjuna. It is written in Veda, the supreme truth destroys everything. And it is not leaving anybody, even the Brahmanas. And in Katha Upanishad is stated, Yasya Brahmasach Shatram Cha Ube Bhavat Adana Mrityur Ayo Pashe Chanam Sa Iha Veda Yatasa. Eventually, all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme Lord. This form of the Supreme Lord is all devouring giant. And here Krishna presents himself in the form of all devouring time, except for a few Pandavas. Everyone who was present on the battlefield will be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of fight, and he thought it was better not to fight. Then there would be no frustration. That's what he thought. In reply, Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, even one of them would be destroyed. Each and every one of them will be destroyed. For that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked. Even if he did not fight, in fact, they were already dead. That's what Lord claims. Time is destruction. And all manifestation are to be vanished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. We also know about each and every day of Brahma. Everything is getting annihilated. Each and every yuga, end of yuga, things are getting annihilated. Is the end of the life of Brahma, everything is getting annihilated. It's a different type of annihilation. But that thing, the birth got definitely a death. Okay. So in between that jara, that old age is also, it is there. Each and every one of us will have to undergo all this thing. So all we know that our life duration is, especially in Kali Yuga, is very, very less. Instead of playing with Kala Kanyas, as indicated in these verses, we should plan our constructive Krishna conscious programs. It is most important to do time management, because the time is very limited for us, especially in Kali Yuga. The people cannot live for 150 years. Even that is not a long duration. But the people can live for only 70, 60, 80, whatsoever, based on how they take their life from the beginning. Some of them, they will die early. Some of them, they will little more duration they will live. Okay. So it is most important to do a time management in this short duration of life in Kali Yuga. There are some basic elements for the time management that we should understand what it is. If this is taken care, it can help us to manage our time effectively. Why we will have to manage our time? That also we will come to. Learning there are three very important aspects in managing our time effectively. One is learning the value of time. Learning the value of time. Next one is prioritization of our activities. We will have to give priority to each and every activity, which is first, which is second, which is third, like that. We will have to give our priority. Otherwise, we'll be bewildered. And third is very important is avoiding procrastinations. What is this procrastination? This is all the three what I said, it is to be followed. Procrastination nothing but is avoidance of doing tasks that need to be accomplished. Avoidance of doing tasks that need to be accomplished. We are just eliminating what we supposed to do. That is avoiding procrastination. All above verses what we saw today, all the three verses today, only meant for our learning the value of the time. King Parshinabharit, whether it is a King Puranjana or Yayati, all the stories centered around the learning the value of time. Narada Muni comes to remind them to prioritize their spiritual activity. Each and everybody, the way Narada Muni is advising, it is to prioritize their spiritual activity. In the same way, there is Narada Muni came during that time, and Srila Prabhupada appears to give the same knowledge. In the disciplic succession, here also come Srila Prabhupada very recently. He is giving us the same guidance, how to utilize our time, what we will have to do. Let us see what is procrastination is. Procrastination, that is avoidance of doing a task that need to be accomplished. We need to do something now, but we postpone it for later. Procrastination hampers our time management very, very badly. It is the practice of doing more pleasurable things in the place of less pleasurable ones, or carrying out less urgent task instead of doing a more urgent one. Thus, putting off the impending task to a later time. Instead of doing it now, we want to do it later. Like that, we are postponing it. Sometimes procrastination takes place until the last minute before a deadline. It impairs our success and bringing feeling of guilt and depression afterwards. Why it is happening like that? Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Ayukta prakate staba sato naikristo alaksha visadi digda sutricha karta tamasa uchyate. The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunction of scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be the worker in the mode of ignorance. Bhagavad Gita 18:28, it talked about it. Gita speaks at length about three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The above mentioned verse speaks about door of any work influenced by mode of ignorance. To avoid procrastination, we have to rise from mode of ignorance and mode of goodness as suggested by Bhagavad Gita. We know there are, in the human race, if you take it in the generally, each and every time we look around the people, there are three types of men available. Instant gratifier. And the second one is panic decider. And the third one is a rational decision maker. There are three types of people available. The instant gratifier lives entirely in the present moment. He wants to do everything now, immediate. He has no memory of the past, no knowledge of the future, and he is not worried about it. He only cares about two things, easy and fun. Anything which is easy and anything it is enjoyable, he wants to do it immediately. That's what it is. He will not be bothered about what is happened in the last and what is going to happen. When one's action is dominated by instant gratification, This is called instant gratification. Gita calls it domination by the mode of ignorance. Action in the mode of ignorance can never lead to any success. A lot of us, sometimes we used to do that, instant gratify. Oh, yeah, that we will do, right? If you see some great eatable available, immediately without knowing how it is going to affect our health, suddenly we will consume, and after that we will feel bad, right? That is the instant gratification of anything, whatever you do in your life. Then second one is panic deciders. Panic deciders, they will be dormant, they will be very silent, they will be very slow, they will not bother about anything, they will be waiting. In the last moment, they will come, jump, and try to do everything themselves. That is the panic deciders. They are dormant in most of the time, but he suddenly wakes up anytime a deadline too close. Whenever the deadline come very close, then they will wake up. Oh, tomorrow I will have to do this, I forgot, and all those things. Okay, there are danger of public embarrassment, or a career disaster. That is the time they will wake up, or some other scary consequences. When there is a fearful consequences, oh, if it is not there, I will lose my job. If it is not there, people will criticize me. If it is not there, I will get into this type of problem. Only that the last minute, they will wake up and try to do it. And importantly, is the only thing to be terrified of, because the way they execute the job. When one is action is dominated by panic, Gita calls it, it's a domination by the mode of passion. Work does happen when there are deadlines, but you can't call it as a solution for procrastinations, because firstly, there are not going to be deadlines always, and secondly, the work that happens is in anxiety under the mode of passion. That is not a best work. So we saw the two things, and the third one is the rational decision making. This is a normal thing. That's in the mode of goodness. Rational decision maker who gives us the ability to do things no other can do. We can visualize future. We can see big picture. We can make long-term plans, and he want to take all of that into account. He will not leave anything. And if we want just to have us to do whatever makes sense to be doing it right. When one's action are dominated by the rational decision making, Gita calls it as domination by the mode of goodness. So there are three aspects we saw: mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and mode of goodness. So when one's action is dominated by the rational decision making, that is called in the mode of goodness, as per Bhagavad Gita. Regulator work is characteristics of a mode of goodness. Also, in mode of goodness, you are at your best, because you are neither delaying things under the influence of mode of ignorance, nor rushing under the influence of mode of passion. Krishna says in the Gita that it is extremely difficult to overcome the influence of these three modes of material nature. However, though few things you can change. One is the kind of food, the kind of environment, the kind of association. You become what you associate with. That's what it is. Okay. Sometimes they used to say the calf which is running around with the pig, it will have to learn the pig's qualities. So associating with the people who have the divine qualities in the mode of goodness bring out the kind of quality. If we follow these guidelines to cultivate mode of goodness, then we'll be surely able to avoid the problem of procrastination and do time management in a better way. We talked about how to do the time management, and if you are not doing it, how it will be, because the influence of Kalakanya, how it affected those great kings, that we should understand. So it is so important to know the influence of the inevitable time and the effect of satsanga. Sorry. Many times we hear about satsanga and we know that everybody is under the influence of inevitable time, which is irreversible. Time is irreversible. Once if it comes, you cannot go back to your young age. We do not know when the end will come. Looking at the present situation, especially for the last 2 years, what is the effect of the pandemic, corona, and we are living in a situation where we don't know what will happen to each and every one. We cannot even trust our husband. Between husband and wife, there is a mask. It is a highly recommended that we have to be alert, always remain in Krishna conscious and seek blessings of everyone. That was so anytime anything can happen. But so how to plan the thing is, this is the way. Okay. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, while in a verse, while encouraging Pandavas, Bhishma Deva is telling, Yattar Dharma Suto Raja Gadapani Vrkodara Krishna Stri Gandhivam Chapam Sugut Krishna Tato Vipat. How wonderful is the influence of inevitable time. It is irreversible. Otherwise, how can there be a reverse in the presence of King Yudhishthira, the son of the demigod controlling the religion? Bhima, the great fighter with a club, the great bowman Arjuna with his mighty weapon Gandiva, and above all, the Lord, the direct well-wisher of Pandavas. How there will be reverses? Prabhupada, in his wonderful purport, is talking about, as far as the material or spiritual resources are required, there was no scarcity in the case of Pandavas. Materially, they were well occupied because of the two great warriors, Bhima and Arjuna. Spiritually, the king himself was the symbol of religion. And above all of them, personality of God, Lord Sri Krishna, was personally concerned with their affair as well as wisher, as a well-wisher. And yet, there were so many reverses on the side of Pandavas due to the influence of Kala, inevitable time. Kala is identical with the Lord himself, and therefore the influence of Kala indicates the inexplicable wish of the Lord himself. Lord wishes, it happens. That's it. Why and where, you cannot question. To attract the causeless mercy of the Lord and go back to Godhead, we need to have the association with the Supreme Pure, which is available through Satsanga. We will have to find out who are the great devotees of the Lord and try to take their association. That is a way we can get the causeless mercy of the Lord. There are only two things. One is Satsanga or Sangha. Sangha or Satsanga. There are only two things available. What is a Sangha? Sangha is Maya. What is Satsanga? Satsanga is Krishna. Whether you want Krishna or Maya, you will have to decide. Srimad Bhagavad Gita confirms, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa. Our senses are always active, cannot be idle for a moment, and continuously hunting for the sense object. It depends on us how to engage, how to take the association of the Supreme Pure. We must find a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. He is not there at the moment. So, but he is very much alive in his books. Even now, if you get in touch with these scriptures, you will be completely saved. So, we said that association is most important. We need to have association with the Supreme Pure, which is available through the Satsanga, and then only we will get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Jayata Vishayan Pumsa, that I said. Our senses are always active, cannot be idle for a moment. And it is hunting for the sense object. How we will have to engage it? This is our decision. We must find we cannot always find a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. So what we can do today, Srila Prabhupada is not there, but his scriptures are available. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many scriptures are available. So these are the things, associating with these things, it can completely save us from all the other things. So when we associate with the Supreme Pure, we will get a bliss. How we will get a bliss? We know first sloka of Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Paramakrishna Chachiddananda Vigraha Anadi Radi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. What is that states? Ishvara Paramakshana Satchidananda, full of eternity, full of intelligence, full of happiness, full of blissfulness. That is Ananda, Satchit Ananda. So when you want to be blissful, you should get connected to the Supreme. How to get connected to the Supreme? Yes, Mahaprabhu has given a wonderful way to connect with the Supreme. What is it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In that way, we can get connected. Very nicely, we can get connected. And when you are connecting also, there are some rules and regulation where to get the ultimate result. What is that? Trinatapi suni chena taro rahit sagishnva amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. When kirtaniya to be done about the Supreme Lord, kirtaniya sadahari amanina manadena, without expecting any respect to yourself and giving all the respect to others. Trinatapi suni chena taro rahit sagishnva. Tolerant than a blade of glass, most humbler than a blade of grass, and tolerant than a tree. Okay, so in that way, we will have to associate with the Supreme Pure. We will get a bliss and will become blissful. Because he is a reservoir of pleasure. Supreme Lord is a reservoir of pleasure. We are surviving in this material world just because of the blessing and the causeless mercy only. Otherwise, we cannot survive in this material world. Lord Krishna himself confirmed to Arjuna, on the first day of Mahabharata war, both the armies were ready to fight. So it is in between the army. That is the time King Yudhishthira got down from the chariot and entered into Kaurava's army. Then Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, why Yudhishthira is going? Why is going to the enemy's army? What is going to do there? These are the doubts in Arjuna's mind. What is the necessity of this? Then Lord Krishna replied to him, in order to seek the blessing of Bhishma Deva, Guru Dronacharya, Kulaguru Kripacharya, and all the elders, Yudhishthira has gone to them, and by honoring the elders, he has already won half of the Mahabharata war. And now you go ahead and fight to win the remaining half. What a beautiful thing. By taking the blessings of the great elders, immediately they got half the victory has come to their side. This is what it stated. Sorry. When we go to the satsanga, we get an opportunity to get the bliss and become happy. Moreover, whoever is in the association with the eternal and not affected by present, past, and future, and they are always in full bliss. Once we get the real taste of satsanga, we cannot live for a moment without it. This is the thing. A lot of you might have come across the importance of association and the happiness which you derive out of association. I do remember when we are having some Bhakti Diksha very long back in our places in Hanumantanagar. The people who comes there, we will start our program by 7:30 and other thing. It will go up to 9:30 also, sometime it goes. And after that also, people will not leave. We will be stay around, speaking to the devotees. We are so very blissful. And we never feel like leaving that location at all. And we will be having next day's work and other thing. Still, a lot of people will be hang around and we want to chit chat and all those things. It will happen. But even that's not good. But we'll come to that later. We will be always blissful in the association of the devotees. That is a very important point. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it confirms the intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lords in association with pure devotee and have become freed from bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord. Even though they have heard them only once, how then could be Pandavas tolerate his separation? For they have been intimately associated with his person, seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping and sitting and dining with the Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada explained in this. In his purport, Prabhupada says, Pandavas were constant companion of the Lord. They could not even think of separation from Sri Krishna. since the attraction was more intense for them because of continuous personal contact. His remembrance by his form, quality, name, fame, pastime, etc. is also attractive for a pure devotee. So much so that he forget all form, quality, name, fame, and activities of the mundane worldly affairs. And due to his mature association with the pure devotee, he is not out of contact with the Lord for a moment. What a wonderful statement. If you are in touch with the pure devotee, you are already in the association of the Supreme Lord through him. That is very, very important. So when you are in the association of the pure devotee of the Lord and the Lord himself directly, then what is the thing is, you are already getting your happiness. So in Satsanga, we are instrument to glorify Lord and talk only about absolute truth, which we have heard through the disciplic succession. In no other talk, while performing devotional service, we must focus attentively on our target, like Arjuna. Our attitude should be what I can give instead of what I can take. We will have to always think about what I will give, what I can give, what I can take from others. That is most important. Then maybe out of his kind mercy, we may get fixed in the devotional service. That is a ultimate purpose. As we are beloved, our Guru Maharaj used to say, we need continuous hammering to remain steady in devotional service. We need continuous hammering to remain steady in devotional service, which is possible in the association of pure devotees only. Otherwise, our rascal mind may take us away from Krishna. This is a very, very important. So we need to continuously hammering to remain steady in the devotional service each and every moment. If you lose it, then it will drag you. The Mama Maya Dorataya. It will not allow you to stay. That's why I said, even we were used to talk very long after the this thing. What we used to do after satsanga, we'll take prasadam, wind up everything, and we should go home without any other talk. Otherwise, there will be chit chat on the materially concocted subjects, which have neither truth nor goodness nor any value or any benefit. And this will directly attack our heart and degrade our devotional service. So all that what we should do is, you do a wonderful satsanga with a great devotees when we do, and we always remember about the Lord, the happiness automatically, it will manifest in each and every one of us. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a wonderful song. But if you hear that song, Tabakata Charana Renu Bhajane Anukula Sukta Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajane Anukula Bhagata Seva Paramasidi Premalati Karamola Bhakata Seva Paramasidi Premalati Karamola Sukta Bhakata Charana Renu So Bhaktivinoda Thakur singing so nicely about this association. The dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee, enthusiastic devotion service, and service to the pure devotees of the highest order are the root of the creeper of devotion. What is the root of the creeper for the devotion is the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee, enthusiastic devotion service, and service to pure devotees, all the three. So that service manobhava is not to Lord alone, to the Lord's pure devotees. The time you do the highest service to the pure devotees and have the association of the devotees, that will be the Sutta Bhakta Charanarenu Bhajana Anukula. The dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee, enthusiastic devotion service, and service to the pure devotees of the highest order are the root of the creeper of devotion. So, this is very much importance is given for the association of the devotees. And from the beginning, what we can see, this is Jara. Jara is in this particular topic today. The Chandavega is attacking the city of Puranjana and the effect of Kalakanya. Kalakanya, what is happening. So, and we saw the King Parshanabharis, how Narada Muni is advising to be away from this all these Kalakanya effects. And same way that how Yayati got affected by all these things, and how his son Puru was very kind enough to take father's old age and given his youth. And in spite of he become old, he could not enjoy anything. That was the thing it is given. And even how Narada Muni, the great Narada Muni, he was avoiding that approaching of the Kalakanya because of his Naishika Brahmachari vow. He is very carefully avoiding everything and follow the, see, we all Brahmachari should follow the footsteps of the great Narada Muni, and so that we can eliminate that Jara. And we also saw the effect of Kalakanya, the Lord, what he is talked about, Kalosmi, Lokashya, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, I am the great destroyer. He is informing Arjuna, I will destroy everything, and I already destroyed. So, no need of you to, whether it's a Brahmana, Kshatriya, and everyone, anyone, I will not leave. That is a time, when the time comes, I am Kala. I will destroy each and every one of it. So no need of you to worry about, you go ahead, fight. That's what he was telling. Then we talk about the time management, because I explained to you about 3 aspects of time management. One is learning the value of time. Second one is prioritization to our activities. What is important, what is not important. That way we'll have to prioritize each and every one of our activities. And the third one is avoiding procrastination. Procrastination is nothing but it is avoidance of doing a task that need to be accomplished. That if we postpone it, that will be avoiding the procrastination. So that will put off impending task to a later time. That is not correct. So I also explained to you about how Lord Krishna speaks about all these 3 things. Ayyata Prakastabi, that is what is in the mode of ignorance, what is in the mode of goodness, what is in the mode of passion, all this, all these things we should raise above from the mode of ignorance and the goodness, as suggested by Bhagavad Gita. And we also talk about 3 types of man. One is an instant gratifier. Instant gratifier live entirely in the present moment. He has no memory of the past or knowledge about the future, and he will do the things immediate, just for the sake of easy and fun. That is first man. That is, he will be in the mode of ignorance. That's what Bhagavad Gita calls for. Second one is a panic decider. He will be waiting for a long time without bothering about what is going to happen. He will be sleeping always. And in the last moment, he will wake up and say, no, I will have to do it. When there is a career disaster or a danger of public embarrassment or a scary consequences, that is the time he will wake up and try to do the things very fast. That is in the mode of passion that we should avoid. And the best one is the rational decision maker, who gives us the ability to do the thing no other can do. It is what it is. Whatever you may see, you will have to, whatever you do, you will have to do it right. That was the idea. In that way, they will be in a position to rational decision makers. They will be doing it nicely. Gita calls them as a people who are in the mode of goodness. So regulated work in the is a characteristic of mode of goodness. So this is a way then association with the people. We talked about 2 very important things. One is the influence of an inevitable time, and at the same time, effect of the satsanga. Many times we hear about satsanga, we know that everybody is under the influence of inevitable time, which is irreversible. We do not know the end, what it will come. Okay. Looking at the present situation, especially, I told you that how much this pandemic affected each and every one of us. That is the time we should have understood all these shortening of our life. You know, each and every great people, even some of our Maharajas, they left, right? So what we should understand about it. And Bhishma Deva, while he is encouraging all the Pandavas, he is telling each and every one of us got a very great effect. Like Yudhishthira is a son of a demigod controlling the religion, Bhima the fighter with a club, and Arjuna with a great weapon of Kandiba. And above everything, they are having the association of Supreme Lord. Still, they got the influence of time. Each and every place, they struggled to come out of it. When the position of Pandavas are like that, what is our situation? And that also, we are having so much. Our senses are always after something. Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa. We are always after something. So we are getting trapped by that. So we should be very careful about the influence of time. And in order to, and that's why, and Bhishma Deva was explaining how it was explained why Krishna is explaining why this Yudhishthira went to the other army and take the blessing of all the people like Bhishma Deva, Dronacharya, Kripacharya. Why Yudhishthira did all that thing? Because this only he said 50% he already won by doing that. So any intelligent man, you should understand the association of a pure devotee become he will be free from the bad material association. Prabhupada also explained, see, whatever, even a satsanga, we are glorifying the Lord, talk about only about the absolute truth, which we have here through the discipline succession. And while performing devotional service, we must focus attentively on our target. These are the things that was explained by Srila Prabhupada. And I also said, after winding up, we should be as early as possible. We'll have to get back, and it will safeguard of all our other things. You know, our so the last the Sutta Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajane Anukula. So the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, enthusiastic devotion service, and the service to the pure devotee is of the highest order on the root of the creeper for the devotion. That is the only thing which we can make us to go back to the Godhead, and we make our each and every day's life happier and happier. This is the only way we can go ahead. So here I am trying to end my purport reading, so that any comment or a feedback or a advice, I am ready to hear. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much for a wonderful class and emphasizing on the importance of the time, especially the principles of time management, and how we should take advantage of the association and devotional service to get over the ill effects of Kalakanya. So thank you, Prabhuji. It was really wonderful class and timely reminder to me, at least, on the importance of time management. Hare Krishna devotees, I have just unmuted the line, so you can share your comments or questions or reflections. Prabhuji got disconnected. 1 minute, Mataji. I think Prabhuji got disconnected. I think. Yeah, I think he got disconnected.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji, please.
Prabhu is not there.
Yeah, I think he got disconnected, Mataji. I think he'll connect again. Give me a minute, Mataji. I'll call him and tell him.
Sure, sure.
Oh, I think he's back. He's back, Mataji. Yeah, you can go ahead, Mataji. Prabhuji is back.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, sorry, some in between some problems.
The procrastination you explained very nicely, Prabhu.
Hari, something.
Very nicely explained.
Something.
Thank you for this.
What?
Saranarenu.
Yes.
That's by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, no, Prabhu.
Yeah, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That if you hear his singing, if you really want to hear the song, you should hear from Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Bhakti Charu Maharaj, you will be so involved in that song. And earlier once we heard also with Bhakti Charu Maharaj.
Thank you very much for the wonderful class. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhuji.
Dandavat Mataji.
Very, very excellent, insightful class, reiterating so many basic things, but reminders for all of us.
Hari.
Thank you so much.
Our Bhakti Vriksha programs.
Yes, Prabhu.
We'll
I can
go.
just repeat that. You gave a quote from His Holiness Devtak Maharaj. Can I just repeat that? It was a I forgot.
Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. I will have to go through. I open. I will send you, Mataji. I will send you this thing in a passage. Now I closed my this thing.
Okay. Yes.
I will send it to you. So nice. I am also remembering after our Bhakti Vriksha programs, all we stayed together for a long time. That is the effect of association.
Definitely.
Yeah,
very
Mataji.
wonderful days. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just have one question, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So you mentioned about Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayers. That he said we should be in continuous association of the pure devotees and take the lotus, the dust of the lotus.
Dust of the lotus. Yeah.
Prabhuji, in this context, how to understand this specific statement of we should be in association with pure devotees, because you also mentioned that Prabhupada is not with us, and of course
scriptures.
We can read the books.
Scriptures. But yes, absolutely. Pure devotees see in our level. See what you should see in our level. Okay, somebody know ABCD, you can learn ABC from him, right? When they know ABCD up to Z, you can learn the full, right? Whatever even in the Bhakti Vriksha program also, whatever we learn, we try to give it to others. So our association should be somebody who is little better than us. That is enough. So you will get a positive feedback from them. Is it not? Somebody even be little better, that is for you is a pure devotee. That way we'll have to think. Okay. And if you go up to the level of Srila Prabhupada, it is there. Prabhupada's association is there in the scriptures, like Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everywhere Prabhupada is available. And those who are regularly reading that, regularly doing all that sadhanas, they are all the pure devotees. And we can have the association with them. And how to identify who is a pure devotee and who is not a pure devotee, that is not our job right now. Is it not? And what we can do is by virtue of their behavior, you should understand what it is.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Prabhuji, there is one comment from Prem Priya Mataji. She has typed in the chat window. I'll just read it, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class and for reminding us of the importance of time, how to prioritize time effectively in service of Lord Krishna. It was like actually this class is for me. This class was for me. And also the importance of sadhu sangha. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Mataji, Malini Mataji also reflected that comment. I also felt like this class was for me.
She is my guru in spiritual life.
Hare Krishna, very good.
I learned a lot of things from her. Tell me.
Krishna devotees, are there any other comments or questions? One important announcement. Tomorrow is the most auspicious occasion of Srila Prabhupada's Disappearance Day, Virobhav, and we have celebrations in the temple. So I think the temple team has sent an announcement about tomorrow's program in the morning. So we will not have any class, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya class at 8 o'clock. We will be just following the temple activities and the schedule tomorrow morning. So please stand by and look for the reminder and further notification from the temple. But also, I think temple management has sent a message for prasadam count. So kindly access that and provide the prasadam count so that it will be helpful for them to prepare the prasadam appropriately. Okay, Prabhuji, we can. Yes, Mataji.
Regarding this change of time and all that, can you just put in the Vaishnava Seva group also?
Okay, so Mataji, I'll copy and put it, Mataji.
Yeah, it will be like a nice reminder in the morning. Thank you.
Sure, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Real wake up call, I really felt. Not procrastinating and having more association of devotees. Thank you so much.
Hey, Revelation Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. If there are no questions, we can end with Vaishnava Pranam, Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindho devacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class again. Thank you, devotees. We will meet again tomorrow. We will not have Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya tomorrow, but we will be following the temple program. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.